Hi, I'm Sharon Burns, owner and operator of ARC's Catering in the DC metro area. And we're here cooking with Sharon, the business chat. And you know what? I am super excited to have this particular guest because, I don't know, this may take more than our allotted times. We may have to do episode 2 because she has so much to talk about because she's doing so much. So I'm not lying. So let's get started. This is Jamise Pinckney, and she is the owner, the founder, the creator, the inspiration, everything behind High Quest. Behind Inspirations, behind the Ophelia Foundation, behind
Logo to Market.
Now that was 4 different things, y'all. If y'all weren't counting, I don't know, when does she sleep? We've talked about this before, and we may talk about it today, but let me hear a little bit about Jamise Pinckney, you know, where you're from, how long you've been in this game, how long you've been doing this. Let us know.
Well, first of all, thank you, Sharon, for the invitation. I am super excited to be cooking with Sharon.
Yes.
Well, Sharon's going to be cooking.
Yes.
I'm going to be eating. Okay?
Yes.
But I am originally from Gary, Indiana, small town right outside of Chicago. And Michael Jackson lived right around the corner from the Jacksons. Family grew up with the Jackson 5, indeed. Left Gary, Indiana back in the late 80s and to attend HBCU, Tennessee State University.
Oh, okay, we'll give you. Okay, we're not going to talk about FAMU today. Okay, well, I'll let you have your shine.
Let me have that moment. Okay, TSU, Alpha Chi. Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Left Tennessee State University and went on to get my master's in education. Went to Meharry Medical School and got my certification there in medical technology. Then went on to work a little bit and went to law school. Got my law degree from University of Cincinnati.
I forgot that little small detail.
How did you forget that?
I know.
Juris Doctor in the house.
Yes. And
so from there, I just began working in the area of prosecution. Didn't really want to go into criminal law, but I landed there. It was a job. And from there, I went back home to Indiana to work in the courts there. And then I decided to relocate to the Washington, D.C. area.
Yes!
It was powerful.
Yes!
It was incredible. You know, brown and black people of color on the move in the nation's capital. It was
a place for you to be.
They said when I first got here, 1 out of every 4 people walking to D.C. is a lawyer. I did not want to be one of those statistics because I was walking around too. So I created an opportunity. An opportunity was created for me to really go into government contracting. Okay. And I started there in 2004 from the boots up. And here I am today, nearly 18 years later. Doing the thing, government contracting, and it's been an incredible ride.
Okay. So look, y'all,
it's packed in there. Them 18 years, a lot has
happened. I mean, gosh,
indeed,
you're putting me on the spot here, Jamise, because I don't know where to go with you. Because look, she got. Sorry, grammatically correct. She has all these degrees and, you know, it kind of leads me to the point of just because you have a degree in something doesn't mean you're going to end up doing that. So why not open a big law firm?
Didn't want to do that. I really actually, to be honest, didn't go to law school really to practice law. Okay. I thought it would be, having that knowledge would be a great addition to my already background. I was in the sciences. I worked for Procter & Gamble, made Olive Olay bar soap and body wash. That was a good time. Indeed. And so I really wanted to be an administrator, kind of grow up as an executive. Okay. And so I pivoted. I've heard you use that word before.
We have been pivoting, yes.
So I pivoted into the area of government contracting. So I had a personal services contract to start out with the Navy Yard when I first relocated here. Then I moved into big business, which Halliburton KBR, and really learned the area of government contracting by working for that firm. If you want to learn something new, get with a big company that you can go in. They have the resources to get you the education you need, the certifications, and that's what I did. Okay. And coincidentally, That's where I met the husband.
Oh my God. Okay. Wait. Well, wait. Let me just, I had to start because we got to eat. We got to start eating because,
Indeed.
a lot of great conversations happen around food.
It does.
Good, bad, business, everything. So that's
everything.
why, we're cooking with Sharon.
That's right.
And so I'm trying something out on you, Jamise, today.
Okay. I see you.
Okay.
I see you. I see the crumble.
So this is the thing. I love to, try to duplicate things that are at restaurants that are my favorite. And so this is what I'm trying today. We'll see how it turns out. Bang, bang, shrimp.
Bang, bang.
Okay.
All
So we're going to continue talking. I'm going to continue cooking.
Yes.
So that was one of my questions because I'm single. Sometimes by choice too, but we won't go there. That's a whole nother, right. That's a whole nother conversation. So you met Gil.
I did.
You met Gil at your first job, right?
Okay. First for the corporate job here. Yep.
All right. So that's one of my main questions is how do you balance that relationship with your husband and still do everything that you're doing? Because it's a lot and you have to balance like that personal time too.
Right. Well, so just a little bit, I had started when I got here to the area, DC, the DMV, I had a consulting firm. So I started HighQuest. At the time, it was HighQuest Legal. I pivoted because that didn't really make sense.
Another pivot.
It became HighQuest Consulting Solutions. And after I met Gil, he's retired military. He did pretty much a lot of what I was doing in industry on the commercial side. He supported the government in acquisition, contract management, contract administration. And so, after kind of thinking about, I'm a strategist, we thought that synergy together with what he did supporting the government and what I did on the commercial side made sense.
I mean, but that means you're with him 24/7.
It didn't start out that way.
Okay.
I was working, he was working. We worked some years, separate company. I eventually left the company. He stayed. He eventually left there and went on to another company or two. So we had gone through about 2 or 3 different companies before we actually merged and came together to work with HighQuest Consulting. So 2015 would be the first year we won our first big contract.
Awesome.
Gil was the first full-time employee. We were pretty excited.
So wait, he was a full-time employee. Was it under you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got to talk about this because
that might be another show too.
That may be
take
another.
Two. Take two.
Take three.
Take 3.
Okay,
all
because sometimes having that mate and then them helping you too.
Sure.
But them it's not underneath you. They're still supporting you.
A partnership.
But it's on paper, it looks like they're underneath. So how do you manage and balance? Because men are egotists.
Yeah.
They have an ego.
They can be. They
sometimes.
can be.
So help me understand this.
Well, the thing is that the government really, really wanted Gil. Gil had the expertise and the knowledge they were looking for. He had just come back from Baghdad, doing 2 tours over there, and so he was well desired in this area, acquisition, and so for him it's a job. It was a job.
Right.
But now we've pivoted because now we're doing it for ourselves, and so. For him, it wasn't I am working under Jamise. Right. It was a partnership. We were a partner in the firm, and it was a great opportunity for him to get out there and set the stage. So now what he does is he goes out literally, and he's in Alaska right now. Hello, dear, if you're watching.
Ooh, he's in Alaska.
He's in Alaska. So we're doing this work together. And so you have to have an understanding and understand your role, what you're bringing to the table. It's our business. And so that's what makes it work.
Okay. So you're on business-wise, but when do you have time to actually chill, Jamise? Because I know me. I know how. You need some.
That.
Yes, you need something. You need something in that glass.
Yeah, I'll drink to that.
Okay. Because you are always on, Jamise. You are always on. I've never actually seen you chill. Do you chill?
I do take breaks.
When? Because I'm trying to balance that as a business owner.
So let me tell you, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, for those of you who may be interested in going into business, I was just on a podcast yesterday. Mm-hmm. One of the questions that was asked to me, how do you balance, your work and playtime and all of that with being a business owner?
Right.
My answer to that is you're on 24/7, right?
Okay.
The misnomer, what's the biggest misnomer as a leader, as a business owner, as a, someone who's running their own shop?
That you're going to have free time?
That you're going to have free time. You really don't, but you have to carve it out. You have to make time. This is why I'm on this self-care journey to be intentional. I came into 2022 saying, Jamise, you got to be intentional.
Okay.
Right? So I've taken that word literally, and I've said to myself, you know what? You have to stop. You have to take moments. You have to watch, as my old pastor back when I was growing up used to say, watch the boob tube. And which is television, for those who may not know what that is. Watch a little bit of TV, take your mind off of work a little bit. And those are moments where you can just take and, have to yourself.
Okay.
I travel, so those are opportunities. I see you out there. Getting it in when you can.
This is what this year I committed to doing what you just said, is to carving out like me time and self-care. I can work on my mental care. And so that's why I ride my bike.
Yeah. Yeah. And so right. The elements of the physical activity, my new best friend, water, to hydrate and just stay flourished and everything. And so I do get it in, Sharon,
okay.
But I am pretty round the clock.
I know, because we didn't say anything about this, but Jamise used to be the Northern Virginia Alumni Chapter President of Delta Sigma Theta, and so that's a full-time job in itself.
It was a full-time job, Northern Virginia Alumni Chapter. Shout out to the sorors out there.
Yes.
It was a full-time job, and I was doing that in addition to being full-time CEO.
Right.
And it was a challenge, but you have to be dedicated. You have to have a level of commitment. You have to prioritize and make sure you have good time management. Right.
Okay, so that leads me to characteristics of a business owner that has multiple things on her plate.
Time management, and hopefully having a good assistant.
Okay, well, how do you find that good assistant? I've been having trouble. Help me. Help a sister out.
Well, I still need help too. Because you become, and that's one of the things about being a business owner. You end up doing everything from A to Z. You're that person.
Yes.
You're managing your calendar. You're managing your clients. You're trying to manage the workload. You're trying to do business development. You're trying to do marketing. You're trying to get out there and getting it done.
Yeah.
But over since COVID, I initiated through Logo to Market, something I initiated where I'm helping women, other entrepreneurs, people aspiring to become a business owner, that you have to adopt the 5 B's.
Tell me about it. What are the 5 B's?
Believing in the business, believing in the concept, believing in what you're doing, because, if you don't believe in what you're doing and getting out there and do it, no one else will. Building the business, right? Having a great foundation. And so when you land a good foundation, a strong foundation, on the house will stand. On the solid rock, your house will stand. Right? Then branding the business, talking about, I've seen a couple of episodes where you're talking about branding and marketing, getting out there, making a name for yourself, the branding of the business, banking on your business. And that can go into a number of different directions, banking on the business. Okay. Meaning you want it to be profitable.
Right.
You want to understand the finances of your business. And then finally, the 5th B is, but don't break in the process. So all of the challenges that comes along with being a business owner, trying to maintain your clientele, trying to maintain, good profit lines, trying to get the business coming in.
Right.
All those challenges that come. Things are not going so well. You get stagnant. We've had those discussions.
Yep.
But you can't break in the process because it takes you right back to the beginning of believing in what you started.
So, how do you determine what you're going to focus on? Because all 5 of those B's are so important. Where do you focus? Do you focus on High Quest one day? Do you focus on Logo to Market another day? I mean, you have 7 days in the week.
Right.
I don't know if you have enough time to commit to every business. I mean, we haven't even touched on the Affiliate Foundation. So how do you determine what you're going to focus on every day? Because as a business owner, what you just said, there's so many things that we have to manage.
Right. You know, I quadrant my priorities, right? So I have, you know, the business. I have the sorority. I have church.
Oh, yeah.
Can't forget about church.
Can't forget about
my
church.
FCC ILC, Pastor Decca Tapscott is my pastor, and Dolores Tapscott is my first lady. The church, and then the foundation. And then home is the core, right? So I pivot around. I'm like a circular, you know, my round head goes round and around.
Right.
But you just work on a day to day. Again, time management, and I think just discipline.
Okay.
And understanding your priorities and making sure that you can address and get done what you need to get done.
Right.
High Quest obviously is the core business.
Correct.
Logo to market is wrapped into that as I'm promoting that and getting clients and you know, to come along and help them become their best business boss. Right.
So the logo to market, because that's the newest, right?
That evolved out of COVID.
Okay.
You know, lots of people were calling me, Shamice, you know, I want to start a business. I want to go do this. Can you help me? What do you do? And so we really launched that off, and it took off, you know, helping other small businesses, women, especially entrepreneurs, become, you know, that business boss that they are desiring to become.
So if someone someone watching this episode and they wanted to start a business and they're like, hey, you know, what do I need to do first? They come to you. What do you suggest? We start basically with an initial discussion, a consultation. Okay. And just talk about what it is they're trying to do. And I've gotten people from all stages. I have some who are literally help me figure out what my logo is going to be. And do you
what
create
I want to
the logo too?
I have resources to help you create the logo. All right. Yeah. And then, or I might get someone who's done all of that. They're already in business, and where do I go from here? Okay. You know, so it depends on what stage you're coming in at, but we can certainly provide counsel and resources to help you along the way. So I'm sure people are asking and wondering, because I always, you know, as a small business owner, I was like, oh my gosh, this costs this costs that. I mean, am I going to be able to afford to outsource another, you know, professional? So by reaching out to you, is it going to be expensive? Is it something that I should, you know, hey, deplete my savings, you know, to get started? That's a good question. So my initial consultation, if someone is coming to me under that umbrella, is free. Free? Free. Free. And so I spend the first hour, 30 minutes to an hour, talking to them about what it is. I give you 2 consultations, the first 30 minutes, and then you have homework. And then we come back and talk about the other 30 minutes. But the first hour is essentially free. If you decide you want to move forward with actually building the business, then we talk about what that's going to be. Okay. Right. All right. Gotcha. But I do have an hourly rate. And of course. So when they come back and they really want to move forward, that there's an hourly rate, and which is not expensive. Well, you know what? Let me just say, because people question, you know, my rates, the cost that it takes to produce fabulousness. And I'm sure the same is for you too. Yeah. You know, there's a cost of doing business. Indeed. So small business owner, I mean, I kind of go back and forth. Should I increase my rates or my price point for certain items? You know, gas prices are up. Yep. COVID has caused a lot of increase in goods and services. So how do you address, you know, what your hourly rate is? It is what it is. You know, how do you help someone understand the importance of investing in their business and their self? It's just that you have to, if you want to grow and build your business, you have to invest in yourself. And people pay for what they want to pay for. Starbucks. Shoes, purses, bags, whatever that is, you pay for what you want to pay for. And if this is important to you, I had to do it. Right. When I got started, you know, I've thrown everything in the kitchen sink into my business.
I can relate.
So High Quest Consulting Solutions, didn't run on its own.
Mm-hmm.
We had to make an investment.
Right.
And now we are a minority woman-owned small business government contractor doing business with the government.
Right.
In the federal space, federal agencies, civilian agencies. And that's the day-to-day. Out of that evolved during COVID, this logo to market where, I want to take an opportunity to give back and try to help support other women, small businesses, entrepreneurs in growing their business. Mm-hmm. And so I try to make it economical to start. Let's have the discussion because information is wealth.
Right.
And part of my job is, and what I'm wanting to accomplish is to give information. So we educate, empower, and inspire others to become the best business boss that they can possibly be.
Okay.
So we don't try to knock folks upside the head with cost, mm-hmm. Not initially.
Right.
But there is a cost. Once we get past that, initial stage and you've gotten, the basic information, you decide whether or not you want to move forward.
Well, one thing I've learned about you, Jamise, is that a lot of times, even if someone could not afford something, you're willing to work with them.
I'm willing to work with you.
And I think it comes full circle,
mm-hmm.
And not maybe immediately, but you're going to get blessed and rewarded in some capacity. I mean, I think that I've read into you that way. Wouldn't you agree? Or
yeah, and it really is true. You have to have a desire to take the first step. So once you've come and you've taken that step and opened that door, and I've opened that door and we've sitting down having that discussion, then it becomes, what can we do? How can we support you? How can we help? And that's it. And that looks yummy.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, now I don't know. I tried this sauce now. Again, I'm trying to
replicate. Duplicate, imitate.
Yes. Something that I enjoy. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
All right. This is picture perfect, girl. Picture perfect.
Thank you. We'll see.
Do we want to get this on camera? Yes, indeed.
Yes, we do.
Awesome.
We are going to, I'm going to let you, look at that for a minute and enjoy, and we're going to come back and we're going to transition. I'm going to clean up a little, and then I want to sit down and really chat with you.
Awesome.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay, so Jamise, I took a stab at this Bang Bang Shrimp from
you did.
A restaurant that's around here. We won't pub them, but it's one of my favorite appetizers. So how did I do for the first time, honestly?
I'm telling you, I would probably give this a 9 out of 10, Sharon.
Okay. I'll take
it's always room for improvement. But 9 out of 10.
Okay,
9 out of 10.
Thank you. I tried my best. This is like, okay, let me do something different here with Jamise. Mm-hmm. And I have a great, critic, good feedback. So I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the things that I admire about you is that your passion and love to give back to others. And one of the things that I know that you started and incorporated was the Ophelia Foundation. And I think this will help some business owners too, because, one of the things for RX Catering, we like to give too. And we have a 501c3, nonprofit organization, but we are, I know you don't know because I haven't really pubbed it because it takes, I know, it takes some time, I can't just put it out there and, not work on it. So I think you will be a great example of how I can transition from utilizing my main RX Catering platform into the foundation. So let's talk about the Ophelia Foundation, because you are doing great things. I've seen you on social media giving out money and, grants and things of that nature to some deserving people. So let's talk about it.
Well, it certainly is my passion. Community service to the community. Mm-hmm. The Ophelia Foundation was established in 2014. It's a grassroots organization based on the principle of simply help, capital HELP, helping others. Okay. And so our mission has shifted over the years, but help, we focus on initiatives in healthcare, education, leadership, and poverty. So those charitable organizations who support, those initiatives and things in the community that will help bring life to others. And so we have done a number of things, from our backpack drives, which is what we've been most known for over the years.
How many years
the white party
have you done that?
20 since 2011.
You started off doing the backpack.
We started out when I turned 40.
You wanted 40 backpacks, I remember, right?
40 people donating $40
Yep.
to help 40 kids go back to school. It was a 40 plus 40 plus 40 initiative.
And then you had a party, right?
We turned it into a white party
Yep.
so every summer. And that became the signature event for the Ophelia Foundation. COVID happened. We haven't had it since COVID.
So is it coming back?
It's coming back. It is coming back. It's coming back.
Okay.
You'll be surprised.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Can't wait. But we have since, we've continued to move and motivate within the community. And so this time we've shifted. Something new. We started in 2022 looking for unsung heroes in the areas of help, healthcare, education, leadership, and those charitable organizations supporting impoverished initiatives.
Right.
And so far we have awarded someone in healthcare. Our unsung hero.
Yeah.
Elistine Marshall. We've awarded Miss Cherie Terry and our educator. And so we're moving on into the other two letters as we move into the summer and fall.
Okay.
But we've awarded, I think we've awarded about 15 scholarships to students over since 2017. Right. 3 students a year. And we're just trying to make a small cog, trying to make a difference.
You're doing it
in the community.
All I can say is you're doing it. It doesn't matter. You say how small. You're impacting lives and making a difference. So I think that's all that matters, because you always start at a certain level and then get to where you want to be. So where do you see Ophelia Foundation, in 5 years?
We're building strong partnerships and alliances within the community. We hope to be building the Ophelia's reading room soon with a local elementary school. Our focus students, our 3rd and 4th graders, helping them to read, because if you don't get past that stage, not being able to read, what are the chances of you graduating from high school?
Right, absolutely.
Right. So those are our focus and target students, elementary. But we're hoping to partner with a local school here. We can't share the details just yet.
Of course not.
But that I see Ophelia really expanding, becoming a household name. We're interested in bringing on some new board members. So if you're interested in the Ophelia Foundation, we have a room for a few good men and women. Sign up, go out there on the website and pull up the... You
won't be disappointed. You won't.
Indeed.
And you're doing something for the community.
Doing something in the
that's
community.
What it's all about.
Yeah. I would be remiss, and I tell this story every time when I talk about the foundation. And, when I got started with this help, it's in my, the Lord gave me this inspiration that Jamise is in your DNA. And so when I was in the formative days of figuring out what the foundation is going to be, the mission, the vision, he gave me the inspiration to go get my senior book that I had written out for high school. You probably have heard this story, but I can't talk about the foundation without just sharing this. And so when I opened up the yearbook, my little book, the ones you write in, all your pictures and friends,
right?
I had written my entire name out there in the cover, which I had not seen this as like high school. And so when I saw my name, I was born Jamise Hill, my mother's maiden name at the time, right? So my last name was Jamise Hill, had a birth certificate. Then at paternity, we had to establish paternity. So my dad, my biological father, his last name was Eskridge. Then they went to Jamise Eskridge. Then my mother got married. And so my adopted father at adoption adopted me.
We got a whole nother episode.
I know, but I got to tell it.
Okay.
And so my name became Latimer. That's the name I grew up with, my maiden name.
That's how I think I knew you before Pinckney.
Yeah, before Pinckney. And then Pinckney. So what does that spell? Hill, Eskridge, Latimer, Pinckney. The first letter spells help.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. Help is in the DNA. Ophelia Foundation was formed. And by the way, Ophelia is my grandmother.
I was going to ask you that because I know there's meaning behind.
There's meaning behind the name. Ophelia.
And then
Gil's mom. Gil's mother.
I think y'all were meant to be.
Yeah. Yeah. The business, the foundation. And then I, since have transitioned into my own personal brand, Inspirations.
Right.
By Darcel J. And under this umbrella, I have my business boss, the teas and mugs.
Yep. So who did you have someone designing that for you?
I have a designer.
You kind of give them that.
I give them what the inspiration is, and they work with me to design, make the designs of the teas.
We need a mug or something or a T-shirt for ARC's Catering.
We do. Or something.
Well, I haven't seen
anything. Are you an educator? Whether you're a lawyer, doctor, educator, techie, musician, whatever, you can go to the website and order yourself one of the teas, one of the mugs.
Right.
I'm doing blankets, so for the babies.
I'll
be posting those soon. We got the baby blankets that you can snuggle in, inspired by Darcel J.
You are tiring me out.
And then the book. We cannot forget about the book.
Oh my gosh.
Ignite Your Wisdom, bestseller in 7 countries. So excited about this.
In 7 countries already?
It went bestseller in 3 countries. Day it launched, May 14th.
Okay, look, I have to ask you this because, everyone has a story to tell. Everyone can put it down, on paper, turn it into a book, turn it into a movie, whatever. How do you start that whole process for someone who wants to do that?
The book?
Yeah.
See, you can certainly reach out to me directly. I'm wanting to share information. I'm connected with Ignite Publishing.
Okay.
An incredible publishing company out of Canada. And, we can talk about, if you're interested, my next book will be starting Ignite Your Faith.
Okay.
I'm looking for, individuals who want to be a part of that collaboration.
So
just
how do you
hit
go
me
about
up.
marketing?
They do all the marketing.
They do?
They do.
Oh, wow.
So we just write.
Okay.
Ignite Publishing does all the marketing, the branding, and everything.
What if you're not a good writer? You're doing everything. I mean, you're good at writing.
Yes, to a certain degree.
Okay.
But they have the editing process. They have editors.
Okay.
You just bring your desire and your inspiration for your story, whatever that's going to be.
Okay.
Ignite your faith. If
you may have ignited something in me.
If you have a faith journey, and I know that everyone, especially as a business owner, multiple moments of faith. Faith walking.
Multiple.
Faith talking.
Yes.
Faith driven, right? You can't do this without having, some measure of faith, right? But that's the next book. I mean, so if you are interested, Sharon,
I may have to check you out.
Let me know. Okay. But yeah, we go through Ignite Publishing.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, man, we've talked about so many different things. I could continue
around the kitchen and around the food.
Around food. We had some great business chatting, and I've learned some additional things about you. I mean, it's amazing. Every time that I sit down with you or talk to you, did we tell the story how we even met? I mean, Jamise has been a big supporter of ARC's Catering, of Sharon, for 15 years.
Yeah.
She was I wouldn't say one of the first customers, but one of the first big events or parties, that I did. In-home.
Holiday party.
Party. Right. It's almost holiday season again. Yep. Are you going to throw another party?
You know what? I was thinking about that a few weeks ago. I was like, I think we need to, maybe do something. We need to get back in. It may not be 22, but I think 23 is will be a great start to bring that back. Right. I miss it.
And I just say, thank you for trusting, supporting, and continuing to support ARC's Catering throughout the entire, 15, 16-year journey. And I think that's important because you have to surround yourself. We've talked about this in other episodes. Surround yourself with like-minded people, with people that are in your corner, people that support you. And Jamise is one of those people that is going to support you. And I think that you probably have your own circle, that has been pretty consistent. I know your family, you're very close with your family, and they are very supportive, I would say.
Indeed.
From the outside looking in.
Family is very supportive, and I'm all about supporting, especially women, entrepreneurs like yourself. Great food, great service. Why not?
Well, thank you. Thank you. So, okay, Jamise, you have the Ophelia Foundation. You have High Quest. You have, Inspirations. That's the latest one. And then Logo to Market. So how are we going to exit from, any of these? Because I know you started off in corporate, your story, and then you transitioned. So how are we going to exit out of all these businesses, or maybe one or two, and then just live
Well, let me tell you, before we talk about the exit from HighQuest or just my whole umbrella of businesses, I think it's important to note that when I was in corporate, and my last stint in corporate was back in 2017, I had an exit plan, right? I worked on an exit strategy. Remember I told you we got our first big contract in 2015.
Right.
Which means I had to be working on that business before I left my corporate job. Right. So it was a planning process. You know, when you know that you've reached this glass ceiling, which I had at my last job, I knew I wasn't going to get any further than where I was. Okay. I was a minority Black female executive with the company. And I had gotten as far as I was going to go. In fact, I was told this is probably pretty much where you're going to be. So at that moment, I knew I had to start working on a plan, right? So I had established myself or put myself under probably a 5-year plan of exiting corporate America. Okay. Things happened as the time drew down. I wanted to make sure certain milestones and things were in place. And certainly I'm building a business on the side. So this is where the companionship with Gil, working to build this business. We got our first big contract in 2015. It was a multi-million-dollar contract. Wow. Right? And so while that was in place, making sure that was growing, we had staff and people. Right. We worked that for 2 years before I even left. Remember, he was the first full-time employee. Right. We had employees that we brought along. And then May 2017, it was like the Lord had opened the sky and spoke to me. Today's the day. And you left. And I had a plan. I even had a proposal prepared to give to my CEO. Okay. Which they sat down and they actually accepted it. So I had a transition plan for me. I stood up the contracts and legal department there. And so who would be better than to help transition into that new person coming in? And that's what I presented to them. They accepted it. Then I became a subcontractor to them. I was I think July 6th. 5th or 6th of that year, I was the employee. The 7th or whatever, I was a subcontractor. And so now I've added to my business, right? Because now I'm a sub, right? While we're doing other work, and the company is just added to what was already. So it made it easy for me to transition out of that role into the seat of president CEO. Right, because you weren't just leaving and then having this gap. I mean, I think a lot of people think it's going to be easy to leave one job, corporate, government job, and then start a business and not have a plan in place. And I think you did the right thing. Yeah, I did. I believe I did, but it was you have to plan. You can't just quit your job thinking that, if you have a nice nest egg set away, you won the lottery or whatever it is, you have the resources, great. Right. But still. But I would not recommend that. I certainly recommend that you plan to exit your corporate position, transition into your new, if you're becoming an entrepreneur or a business owner, do that then. Right. And now, since I've been in business several years, I have a strategist. We are working on the exit plan. Okay, let me hear it. I'm giving it 10 years. I'm going to try to get, but I had a call yesterday, somebody saying, hey, Janice, we're interested in buying a business. Okay. So I'm interested in listening, but the plan, again, it's a plan. Right. We're going to, strategically lay out, where we are, where we're hoping to go. But right now I'm on a 10-year journey. Okay. And that goes by so quick. It goes by quick. Right. And you'll have other things, on the burners. Other streams of revenue. Correct. And I think that's important as just a person in general, having multiple forms of revenue coming in. Exactly. So this is why I have the book over here. You have inspirations over here. You have the logo to market. You got the business. So I am creating other streams of revenue because I know in the next few years, the likelihood of me, either selling the business or just really closing the doors is imminent. Right. But it takes a plan. That's the thing. Absolutely. And this is a part of the 5 B's, right? The building, the foundation, the branding, the banking, right. And then I need to add a 6 B. It might not be a B. It'll be an E, exit. Right. So, okay. So
we've talked about a lot of different things, but this platform I'm using to promote and help other businesses. So how can everyone that's listening, what can we do to support you, to make you the best you, and whatever business or brand that you're focusing on, to make it where you want it to be?
Sure. A few things: like and share on social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram.
Can you say that again?
Like and share on social media.
Can you say that again?
Like, subscribe.
Oh, yes.
and share.
Janice, would you please tell
on
people
social media
why that is
That's
so
number
important?
One. That's number one.
Please tell
It's
them.
a part of the branding. It's the
Yes.
third B. It's a part of branding.
And the algorithm.
And the algorithm, because the more and 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 more you do it, the more you're going to get picked up and people will see and can support. So again, on social media, if you can like and share and subscribe at the bottom.
Yes.
Click the bell. YouTube. To support. So at HighQuest, I am at HighQuest. I am at JPink. I am at JPinkney1913. I am at www.highquestconsulting.com. I am www.opheliafoundation.org. And most importantly, where you can help financially is go to www.businessbosscollection.com. Buy your tea, buy your mug, get it today. I am sure that there's something there that will help inspire you.
Okay, y'all have heard it. I hope y'all jotted all that down. But don't worry. We'll have it.
Watch the replay. Watch the replay. Hit pause.
And we'll have all the hashtags and @ signs available for you. But I cannot thank this boss chick enough, for taking her time, because as I always say, time is money.
Time is money.
Time is money. And I mean, she's not right down the street, y'all. She is, at least an hour away. And then with DMV traffic, we have to factor in, all that jazz.
Again, you plan, you put it on your calendar, you make it happen.
Yeah, because I asked you, 3 weeks ago, I guess. And she was like, is this still on? Yeah, Jamise, it's still on. I need you in the place. So I just thank you.
This has been a pleasure. The food is amazing. Conversation, business, everything happens either on the golf course, in the spa, or around Sharon's dinner table.
Yeah, in the kitchen. Kitchen. Cooking with Sharon. You got that right. You know what, Jamise? I need you on my team.
Hey.
You are indirectly.
Let's get it on the calendar. Let's do part 2.
Part two coming, because with all these phenomenal women, you see that there's a wealth of information that we just cannot, share in 30, 45 minutes. We just can't do it, because we've been learning on the job all these years. I know it's trial and error for a lot of the things for me, because I didn't go to school to cater.
To cook.
I didn't do that. But and you did. You went to school.
I went to school, but it wasn't to become a government contractor or be sitting here in Sharon's kitchen. But guess what? Life happens in evolution. You evolve, and this is what makes it great. And you pivot. And sharing is caring. So if there's anything that I can do to help support you move your business forward, I'm here. I'm all for it.
Thank you, sis.
All right.
And again, thank you for joining Cooking with Sharon, the business chat. We'll see you the next time.
Let's toast to that.
Yes, ma'am.
Health is wealth. Keep drinking your water.
Good job. Love it.